Pedro Lacandazo hopes that every little thing built in his new home means he is slowly finding a place to store away a painful memory. He lost 22 members of his family, his wife, children, grandchildren, brothers and sisters, and cousins. 6 of them have not been found until now. He is left with his only son, Junjun. All the others died when Typhoon Haiyan struck central Philippines last November.
I dream of my grandchildren, how I used to play with them. I dream of me coming home to my wife. I remember the voices of my children. They will never leave my mind.
He met President Benigno Aquino a few months ago and felt privileged to have shaken his hand. Like so many others here, he held on to Aquino's promise of help, but nothing came. Most of the survivors here feel they were given very little opportunity to grieve. 6 months on, many of their loved ones remain unaccounted for. And although bodies are still being found almost every day, the chances of ever identifying them at this stage are next to zero. The death toll continued to rise. More than 6,300 people are now confirmed dead. More than 1,000 remain missing. The government says its efforts to identify dead bodies through DNA testing is still underway. But in a disaster like this one, it is difficult and may take some time. For many here, that is hard to accept. Many of those buried in mass graves like this one remain nameless, and those who survive are faced with an even more uncertain future, unable to find jobs and decent housing. And it is that kind of struggle that worries many aid groups here.
One of the things that we're trying to do is identifying very early people who have emerging issues and mental health issues, and then be able to point them towards the appropriate treatment.
Pedro has adopted an orphaned boy, a Haiyan survivor just like him. He hopes that with him, he can build some pleasant memories again. But he knows that they may not come easily, because up to now, he says his government has failed to understand how much identifying Haiyan's dead matters so much to the living. Jamela, Alindogan, Jazeera, Palo Leyte, Central Philippines.